Justin Fields is the single most fragile dynasty asset we have ever seen. Despite being an elite fantasy producer, he has been heavily buoyed by his rushing production. And whilst that's been fantastic for fantasy, there is a serious chance that his time as a starting quarterback may be about to expire, and nobody's ready for the drop in value that would come follow. Through the first 3 seasons of a career, going back to 2000, this is the list of quarterbacks who have played in at least 25 games and have lost the most games, have won fewer than 10 games. In that sample size, we've got Blaine Gabbert at 5 wins out of 27 games. Davis Mills, 5 wins out of 26 games. Jamarcus Russell, 7 wins out of 25 games. And Justin Fields has won 5 of his 26 games. Now, those quarterbacks, what happened to them after their 3rd season? Well, Blaine Gabbert was traded to San Francisco for a 6th round pick. Davis Mills was benched as the team drafted CJ Stroud and moved on. Jamarcus Russell didn't even make it to the end of his 3rd season as he was benched halfway through, despite being the number 1 overall pick and one of the most expensive contracts we've ever seen a rookie get. Justin Fields, could he potentially be the next in this long line that's not winning and therefore going to get moved on? The reason I have concerns isn't the rushing, isn't necessarily the winning, it's more the passing. Since 2000, we've had 765 quarterbacks who have averaged 10 pass attempts per game and therefore gone a passing EPA. Of those 765, Justin Fields, his 2021 season, finished 727th. He had a minus 64.9 EPA. Now, 2022, slight improvement. He finished 723rd. As a passing quarterback, he has been absolutely abysmal. And the problem is not just there. He has fumbled 8 times last year. That's the 6th most out of any QB since 2000. He's turning the ball over and he's not efficient in the passing game. Let's look at last season. Okay, his 3.46 interception rate was 37th of 38 qualifying quarterbacks last year. He was 30th out of 38 in completion percentage above expectation. A huge part of Fields' issue is that despite incredible rushing ability, he takes a huge volume of sacks as well as the turnovers I just mentioned. His 27.1% pressure to sack percentage was 33rd out of 35 in the league, or 36 out of 38 qualifying. He has been truly electric for fantasy, rushing the ball. But the passing ability is just not there. Last year, the Bears tore everything down around Fields, and we kind of get it. But they've now invested around him. They've brought in DJ Moore. They obviously brought in Chase Claypool last year. They've drafted Velus Jones, Tyler Scott. Maybe not great players, but still significant capital. They've also signed Cole Kmet to an extension. They've just gone out and spent a 1st-round pick in Darnell Wright and signed Nate Davis in free agency. And maybe last week was the worst Justin Fields has looked ever since he stepped onto an NFL field. There is a very real chance that with a career record as a head coach at 3-15, Matt Eberflus isn't going to be given a 3rd year and might not even make it out of his 2nd year. With a new head coach in place, do we think the Bears are going to commit to Justin Fields for another offseason, having just traded away the 1st overall pick to say we're committed to Justin Fields? I can't see them doing it again. Any new head coach is going to get to handpick their quarterback, and I'm not convinced that it will be Justin Fields. The Bears have also got some extra capital to go out and get a quarterback if they need to. They've got the extra 1st-round pick from the Panthers, so that could be 2 very early 1st-round picks in this year's draft, which is loaded. We've got Drake May, we've got Caleb Williams. There's also a whole plethora of quarterbacks that could end up going in the 1st round. This 2024 could see more quarterbacks going in the 1st round than ever before. Oh, and by the way, the Bears have also got 96 million in projected cap. This team could rebuild in a hurry if they decided to move on from Justin Fields. He's currently the QB7 in DLF ADP and the 8th overall player in Superflex. He's currently the QB9 on Keep Trade Cut and the 12th overall player. He is an insanely valuable asset. but he could literally turn from being worth 3 first-round picks to not even being worth the first by the end of this year. I love what he can do for your fantasy on the field, but I'm seriously concerned that he's not going to be a starting quarterback this time next year. I'm looking to move on. My favourite move, I was saying it all off season, is to pivot from Justin Fields to Trevor Lawrence. You're probably going to have to pay something else on top. I'd happily pay a first, but I don't think you have to do that. I think if you can get Justin Fields in a second for Trevor Lawrence, happy days. Or I'd look at tearing down. Can you go out and get Anthony Richardson, maybe a pick on top? Can you get Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott? Kyler Murray might be the sneaky one to go out and get. I think that if you can tear down whilst you're still selling at peak value, you're probably going to insulate yourself moving forward. Yes, Justin Fields has been phenomenal for fantasy when he's been on the field, but I'm seriously concerned that he could break and he could be worth very, very little very quickly.